cedis on his bed could not be found.
We have details as they demand an end to what they describe as an attempt to intimidate the MPP. Also uneasy calm in Boku in the Upper East region, where residents say they were brutalized by military men in response to the assassination of a soldier deployed there on a peacekeeping mission.
They say curfew hours and you people are entering houses beating people. No reason.
The military just burst in. They started beating us, destroying properties, taking our phone, our items and money.
We want government to settle this our case for us because we are suffering in Boku here.
We'll be live on the ground for updates as young men who fled to neighboring districts are yet to return home. We'll also get the latest on the president's tour there later today. Still in this bulletin, you are now free to engage with the media, says the Inspector General of Police, lifting the communication embargo imposed by his predecessor, Dr. George Kufudampari.
The current police administration, under my leadership, will reactivate and invite all regional police public affairs offices to interact and meet the evolving demands of our society and media partners.
President Mohamed's promise to reset the Black Stars faces a major test on Friday as the national team takes on Chad in a crucial World Cup qualifier.
A little over 59,000 hectares of land.
And in Tech Thursday this week, Ghana is losing equivalent of 23 football fields to forest daily to mining. That's the warning from scientists who are leveraging satellites and AI.
A little over 59,000 hectares of land has been converted to mining. So if you have lost that vegetation, and if you translate that, that amounts to about 84,000 football parks.
And it's shocking but true. Find out later in the bulletin how your poor oral health might be killing your performance in the bedroom.
This is not me saying it. This is not Dr. Marfo saying it. It is backed by research.
Yes.
That there is a link between gum disease and erectile dysfunction in men.
That's our health beat on Oral Health Day being backed around the world today. Plus, we hear from some Ghanaians who say they feel happier now than they did last year. Details in our World Happiness Day today. There, I'll bring you details of that and more with me, Hannah Odame. This is Joy News. We are independent, fearless, and credible. This afternoon, the minority in Parliament is fiercely accusing the national security operatives of brazen thefts during what they describe as unlawful raids on the homes of former government officials. On Wednesday, operatives allegedly stormed the residence of the former Bank of Ghana governor, Dr. Ernest Addison. An outraged minority leader addressing journalists in Parliament slammed the operatives for allegedly stealing 10,000 cedis from the governor and making away with valuable jewelry belonging to his wife.
The minority caucus is here to express its concerns about the growing lawless conduct of our national security operatives who the government has unleashed on opponents, particularly the MPP appointees of former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We've heard of some raids, and in some cases, these so-called security operatives rob these officials when they are leaving their premises. They force their way, overpower the security, and enter these premises. This Rambo-style approach must cease. This is the first time in the history of our country that a governor of a central bank is being subjected to such a treatment. Unfortunately for the governor, some 10,000 cedis on his bed could not be found. So some of these hungry party foot soldiers that they use, who parade themselves as national security operatives, are after all perhaps not even being paid, and they use this opportunity to steal. The governor's wife's earrings and necklaces were also not traced. They couldn't be found. In other words, those operatives stole these earrings and necklaces.
So let's get more from our parliamentary affairs correspondent, Kweku Asante. Kweku, what exactly is the caucus demanding following these developments?
Well, their demand is to President John Dramani Mahama, who they say must put his feet on the ground and end these raids on the homes of former government officials. They say that even if these raids may have happened in the past to current NDC officials, John Dramani Mahama should put it at the front burner of government policy to end this practice of whenever power changes, national security operative being used to harass former government officials.
This vicious cycle of using power to intimidate must cease. I conclude by calling on President John Dramani Mahama. We know him as a moderate politician, respected politician. He served his country, had a first term, lost elections. The Ghanaian people have given him another mandate to do his final term, which is a constitutional power mandate given him. He should leave a legacy. Your Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, please leave a legacy. Let it be said that even if there were excesses in the exercise of executive power, when you had the opportunity, you change it for good and own that legacy in your name, Your Excellency. We're tired of the intimidation, the attacks, and the hypocrisy. We were told that Jakpe's first attack on Kenoforiata was not authorized. Today, the same Jakpa leading armed police, armed military, and so-called party thugs who parade on the streets of Accra as security operatives, terrorizing and traumatizing a respected Ghanaian citizen who has dedicated the better part of his life to serve his country.
There was a minority leader there. Now, Kweku is still with us. Kweku, they've also been protesting the arrest of Okatechie Efrifa Mensah. Give us a little brief about why this is also happening.
Well, we do understand that yesterday, another set of operatives belonging to the National Investigations Bureau did arrest the former radio and TV host Okatechie Efrifa Mensah and actually held him for some time. The New Patriotic Party did put out a statement signed by the General Secretary on his social media account demanding the release of Okatechie Efrifa Mensah. As of now, the NIB has not communicated why exactly they arrested the former journalist, except to state that that person has since been released. They say that this sends a message that free speech is under threat under John Dramani Mahama, and that is why they say none of that sort of situations must occur in the future.
Okay, so stay with us, quick. We'll come back to you. But let's recall February, what happened. There was a similar Rambo-style raid on the house of the former finance minister, Ken Oforiatta. After public outrage and complaints in parliament, the majority leader, Mahama Yariga, apologized and vowed this will not repeat itself.
It is true that the private residence of the former Minister of Finance was entered into by operatives of the military and the police, led by somebody who we believe works at the National Security Coordinator's Office. Mr. Speaker, his name is Mr. Jakwa. We have received assurances from the Office of the National Security Coordinator that it was not intended that that should happen, and that occurrence is most regrettable and unfortunate, and he wants to give this House his word and assurance that a thing like that should never happen again.
Yeah, Kweku, you recall that which you brought to us in February. The majority leader said this. Have you been able to put all these allegations happening currently to anyone from the majority side or to him in particular?
Well, not yet. Mahama himself is on the floor as his proceedings are underway. A number of majority MPs are tight-lipped about the situation. They say they don't have enough information as to what exactly led to the search on the premises of the former Bank of Ghana government, whether or not the operatives did have a warrant to do what they did. And so they will be seeking more information as and when they have it they'll be willing to communicate to journalists.
Thank you so much, Kwekwa Sante, our parliamentary correspondent. Let's get more of what's happening with a security lecturer at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Center, Dr. Victor Doke, and he joins us on the phone lines. Now, tell us, what do you make of the style that's been adopted by the operatives in gathering information or otherwise?
Thank you very much, and good day to you. Can you hear me?
Hear you. I can hear you.
All right. So I think, one, the style of the modus operandi of the national security hasn't changed. What I see is they're still adopting the old style of, going into the homes of suspected, officials and then trying to find out evidence, which so far has not been what found. Now, with regards to what happened with the governor, one would think that you don't expect the national security to act independent of the internal police service. There has to be some collaboration. In this case, I didn't see that or didn't hear of that. So that if you even have information that a said person, not necessarily a government official or the ex-government, is, or associated to some particular issues, you don't act alone. You have what? The necessary legal backing that makes you or necessitates your actions to go into what? A residence of an ex-official to find information that would help you with regards to your investigations. I think we need to be careful with regards to what has happened. Now, over the past, we've had these instances coming up, the Rambo style entry and all of that. And what did it yield to? We didn't see anything positive that came out. It only heightened the atmosphere between the opposition and the ruling government. And I think going forward, there needs to be a respect for the law with regards to acquiring the necessary documents to enable operatives to go into the homes of people. Then now they are being accused of taking some amount of money, jewelry, and all of that. What if the next time they do this, they'll be accused of harming or even causing death to someone? Then it becomes a very serious issue. Then that is why you need to involve the police. The police will lead. I don't think the national security should work independent of the police. These are two state security institutions. So if you need some level of collaboration which will aid you to come up with, investigations, you need to collaborate. Now, this can even cause a rift between the ex-governor and the governor who is in place now, because then people will start accusing or alleging that there's a personal vendetta the current governor has against the former governor, now, which may not be true.
Yeah, let me come in here briefly, Mr. Doke. Now, Dr. Doke, you said this is an old style. So what should be the ideal approach and the options available that should be used moving on?
Yeah, the ideal approach is what I've already said. They should work closely with the police service, right? Work closely with the police service. Get the necessary documents that want you to go into private property of an individual. Even in the Western countries, you don't just go in there. You have a paper, a legal backing, a warrant that necessitates you and gives you the authority to go into the house of a person and then state clearly that based on A, B, and C, we believe that there's something here we'd like to conduct.
Dr. Doke, I am sure that the national security operatives know this already. So how then do you think it can be enforced?
We need to seek accountability, transparency. So then if they know this and it hasn't come to light, then what do? You have to call them and ask questions. And that is what civil society, that is what the citizens should now be looking at doing. So that this does not continue, because anyone can fall victim to wrong accusations.
Sure. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon on the Midday News. We had Dr. Victor Doke. He's a security lecturer with the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Center. Let's move to other stories. And there is an easy calm in Boko in the Upper East region, a day after residents allegedly were brutalized by deployed security force. One of the soldiers had been assassinated by unknown assailants days before. Highlighting the severity of the incident in Parliament, the MP for the area, Mahama Yariga, said the soldiers invaded the constituency and beat everyone in sight.
And as we speak, the military soldiers are still carrying on the operation of beating up everybody that they come across in the town. I will never condone the killing of anyone, especially a soldier who has left his family. It is equally not right for the soldiers since last night to invade homes, meeting places, and beating up everybody, assaulting, injuring women, old men, children. So, Speaker, I condemn in no uncertain terms the conduct of the military detachment there.
Well, the beatings did not end in Boku. The MP for Garu, Dr. Thomas Anaba, claimed the alleged military brutalities are also being experienced in his constituency.
The military should also be cautious because just about 1.5 years ago, same brutalities happened in Garu. We lost a young man who was very innocent, was not even at the scene when issues happened, and having 2 little babies with the wife struggling for themselves. An old man's leg was broken. And up till now, we are still managing the old man. I think the military were trained really to neutralize.
Let's get to the phone lines and speak to our regional correspondent, Albert Sorry, for the latest. Albert, first, tell us how those who were injured are faring.
And a lot of them are still recovering in the hospitals. Their injuries are quite serious. We've been talking to at least 3 of them, 2 women and a man who had various injuries on their bodies. Some even had injuries on their heads because they were beaten with canes. And so many of them are still recovering in the hospitals. And from what our checks indicate, it could even take up to a week before some of them recover.
And then you also spoke to some residents about how the incident happened. What have they been telling you?
Yes, so 2 nights ago, the soldiers just, went on an operation. From what we are told, they went in Rambo style. They would go into the homes at night.
One open, 2 open. And I said, excuse me, I'll come and open. When I just opened, they start beating me. That why is the man of this? I say, I don't have mother, I don't have father, I don't have my husband. I'm living alone. So they just start beating me. And my hair, all my body, and my ears and my jaws all. And they just wound me with my hands. We want government to settle this our case for us because we are suffering in Boku here. I don't think that they are even taking care of us. They say curfew hours, and you people are entering houses beating people. No.
You heard some residents of Boku there. Now, you are free to engage with the media. That's a message from the Inspector General of Police, Christian Teteyehonu, to police spokespersons as he lifted the communication embargo imposed by his predecessor, Dr. George Ekufudampari. He was speaking at a workshop for the PROs.
That no society can effectively combat crime without the trust and collaboration of its people. This is why effective policing is a partnership, one that requires officers to work closely with the communities they serve to foster a safer and crime-free environment. In times when the public demands greater involvement and accountability in our service delivery, a well-tested approach ensures police legitimacy and builds public confidence. This is where your significant role as public affairs officers in fostering positive interactions with the public becomes essential and directly impacts police effectiveness. It is on this premise that the current police administration, under my leadership, will reactivate and invite all regional police public affairs offices to interact and meet the evolving demands of our society and media partners. Over the years, the media has been a key stakeholder in crime fighting efforts and has influenced public perceptions of our work in numerous ways. Therefore, it is imperative that our engagement with the media be intentional, professional, and instructive.
IGP Christian Teteyehonu there. We take a break here. When we come back, we'll tell you about how your poor oral health might be killing your performance in the bedroom.
This is not me saying it. This is not Dr. Marfo saying it. It is backed by research.
Yes.
That there is a link between gum disease and erectile dysfunction in men.
then? Now I ain't no money just sir.
Obiang, what you chrome her? Ain't you want to say petrol for your energizing drinks promotion? Hey boy. Petrosol are celebrating their 10 years in grand style. They're giving back to their loyal customers. Hope you have registered at their online portal. Don't say I didn't tell you, oh.
Each month, customers will stand a chance of winning items like tricycles, motorcycles, television sets, refrigerators, phones, fuel vouchers, and many more. But the best part is that at the end of the promo, we will be giving out a grand prize of 2 Suzuki Espresso cars to lucky winners who stay with us all through the promo period. All you need to join is to visit any of our over 100 stations across the country to get registered, or go to www.petrosolcrm.com to register online.
Petrosol, energizing dreams.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Yeah, welcome back. Mubarak, sports?
Yes, Hannah. So President John Mahama is charging the Black Stars to deliver all 3 points against Chad in a crucial 2026 World Cup qualifier. The national team has not won any of their last 6 matches and currently sit third in Group I of the qualifiers.
We haven't given up on you. We still believe that the Black Stars can find its glory again. It takes sacrifice. It takes strength. We all like to watch you when you play for your teams. And we expect that you'll bring some of that dedication to the national team. Playing for the national team is not as lucrative as playing for your individual teams. But still, that sense of pride and patriotism that your nation, has gone to the World Cup is something that is worth dying for.
Hopefully the players do not disappoint the president. Back to you, Hannah.
Tomorrow, Friday, is a good day.
At 7 p.m.
Okay, so the Ghana Space Science Institute says Ghana is losing the equivalent of 23 football fields of forest cover every day due to mining. My colleague Michael Ashale shares more details for Thursday.
Mining is one of Ghana's most important economic sectors, contributing billions of dollars to the economy and providing thousands of jobs. But the cost of this wealth has been high. Our forests are disappearing and our water bodies are under threat. For years, Ghana struggled to measure just how much land and forest cover had been lost to mining, both legal and illegal. That changed in 2023 when, for the first time, scientists at the Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute were able to put actual numbers to the destruction.
Between 2007 and 2023, we've lost almost 55,000 hectares of land. And how did we do it? We were able to do it with satellites. So we took satellite images from 2007, 2008, 2009 of the same location. Then we monitored the area that we are losing, right? Then we did ground studies to validate the satellite data.
The findings were alarming, but just a year later, when the scientists updated their data, the situation had worsened.
A little over 59,000 hectares of land has been converted to mining. So if you have lost that vegetation, and if you translate that amounts to about 84,000 football parks.
For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
Today in our Ghana Man series, we take you to Nipahiamwa, a village along the Techiman-Kintampo Highway in the Bono East region. Its name, meaning man needs help, embodies the wisdom of its first settler who believed that no one prospers alone, regardless of their status in life. Anas Sabit has more.
Names of communities in Ghana are more than just words. They are stories, lessons, and legacies etched into the soul of our land. Imagine a community so rooted in unity that its identity demands collaboration. A community named Nipahiamwa, which literally means man needs. James Najombo is the unit committee chairman here.
Oh, crazy, yeah. And yet, Zimbabwe, ever Panama Troy. The
name of the community is not bad. It was named by our fathers. A man migrated to the community. When he came, he met another man called Openya, who accepted him by saying, "Every man needs help, so therefore I will help you." This tale isn't just folklore. It is the heartbeat of Nipahiamwa, where the people believe that every man needs help irrespective of his financial status.
Yeah, no, and yes, Capesi, and a normal pair of Brosso. Sabea or Do,
looking at the way they lived tells you that it's not always about money. Living cordially matters. So how the man accepted him wholeheartedly illustrates the saying that every man needs help. A person's situation doesn't matter. So it was finally named after the man's continuous saying, "Every man needs help."
As the world marks Oral Health Day today, dental surgeon Dr. Louisa Setekla has been sharing expert insights on how neglecting your gums could take a toll on your performance as a man. She spoke on Joy Prime on Joy Prime.
This is another interesting topic that goes wild on social media when we say it, because people think that we're just scaring them. No, but then some of these gum diseases, they are caused by bacteria and causes inflammation. And this is not me saying it. This is not Dr. Marfo saying it. It is backed by research.
Yes.
That there is a link between gum disease and erectile dysfunction in men. This is not us saying it. It is backed by research. And this is because of the inflammatory processes that are involved in there. So that is why we want you to stop it where it starts. Stop the gum disease where it starts.
So when you get the gum disease, the bacteria now goes in there.
It's traveling. Every part of your body is connected. Our blood vessels that run up and down, they are not there for no reason. They are connecting every part of our body. And so they can travel all the way. Oh, yeah. All of these have been backed by research. It's shown by research that gum disease has a connection with all of these other systemic diseases. Yes. So if you're experiencing any of these, your teeth are mobile, you're having bleeding gums, all of these things, they are red flags. You need to see your dentist. And as little as 1 or 2 visits, these problems can be solved. And then you save yourself so many other bigger problems that, you would find yourself in different places. Right.
We transition to what's happening in the trends. Jackie, M&J.
Yes, Hannah.
Your ex seems to be missing most of the time.
Well, he's equally doing other important stuff.
I know.
But then today is World Happiness Day. And
that's why I'm so happy.
I guess. Yeah, so a lot of people have been celebrating that on social media. But are you happy?
Extremely happy. You asked me why I was smiling this morning.
Okay, well, away from that, the national security is trending after the raid on the former Bank of Governor's house. So Eldad says that the national security should use the same men and approach to fight Galamsey. Parkwesi says that after Cecilia Dape's move, do you think people will still stack monies in their homes? People have been saying that, but yeah. And away from that, Black Stars match trending. A lot of people have been talking about it. What are your predictions for tomorrow?
I'm just hopeful. I just want to go. That's all.
Just a goal.
Just one for Black Stars, of course.
Well, a lot of people expressing their thought. One last comment before we go. Bryce says that you can get all the words of encouragement when you are preparing for a battle, but if the person leading you to battle has some shortfall, forget it. I wish them all the best. They are talking about the leadership of GFA. Wishing them all the best.
1-0 against Church. That's what we pray for. And with that, we end the midday news with me, Hannah Odame. You can find more stories on myjoyonline.com. Dr. Mensa Otabil comes up next with Living Word.